Good afternoon. My name is Jim Conlan, and welcome to the latest episode of our entertainment show. As you know, in part 3 of our entertainment show, each week we premiere a new TV series or movie that is debuting in Ireland and the UK, especially with Irish sort of interest. And up for discussion this week is a new comedy TV series that's debuting worldwide, as well as in Ireland and the UK, and especially in Ireland in March the 30th. On channel Netflix UK, called Unstable. It's a comedy feature. It's a father and son production. It features John Lowe and Rob Lowe. Rob Lowe, the famous actor, and he's comedian. He's partnering up with his son. Their sort of first gig together, and in terms of comedy series. And the premise is based on this multi-billionaire, this eccentric sort of character that is Eli Stragan. He's a bit quirky, a bit out there in terms of how he lives life and how he sort of perceives lives, and his son trying to row him back and row him in terms of normality. It features an all-star cast. It features Sian Clifford, Frank Gallegos, Chris Aquino, the one and only Fred Armisen is there as well, Tom Allen, and our special guest this evening who plays the character Ted, Merrick McCartha. Merrick, first of all, thanks for joining us today.
Happy to be here. Thank you.
And Merrick, tell me, to working with the two Lowes, Rob and John, I suppose the father is a funny man. Is the son just as funny?
Absolutely. You know, the one thing about Tom Lowe that he's notorious for here in the United States is being ever young looking, like always, like never aging at all. And I've met him before and worked with him more up close now. He really just has this youthful look and presence about him. So he's one of those people one of the actors that everyone here jokes about that just never ages. And funny enough, his son looks even younger. So my thought was Rob Lowe always looks like he's in his 30s, and he still does. When I met his son looked like he was a teenager. So they were both had that youthful genetics, I guess.
I suppose, Merrick, your character Ted, can you tell us about him? Is he one of the board members, dare I say, of Rob Lowe, Eli Stragan's company?
Absolutely. So it's I'm a board member, and what we're tasked to do is his son John Lowe, who's the character he plays is Jackson Dragon, wants to bring his father on to create this new innovative invention for the company. And so we're a bit skeptical because he's known to be eccentric and kind of crazy, and we're all very doubtful of him. So we have board meetings to discuss this as part of the storyline, and he's just working to convince us to let him come on board or stay on board or whatever he's going through at the time.
And Merrick, I do believe there's 8 episodes in terms of season 1 in terms of filming. And what was the sort of shot, the location? No, first of all, we'll go back to the start. How did the opportunity come about for you to get cast in Unstable? Was it the normal audition sort of process? You mentioned there about a friendship there with Rob. Were you sort of approached for the role?
No, I wasn't for this, but there's a casting director for this show who knows me very well and reached out to me to put in an audition tape for this character. So I did that, and they brought me on for some episodes of the show. So it was more the casting person than Rob Lowe or John Lowe. But I got to work with them and some other characters in the story as well, like Sian Clifford, very lovely, very wonderful actress. And there are 2 characters on the show that it's J.T. Parr and Tom Allen, and I don't know if they're sort of a duo where they're sort of these idiots of the show. They're the idiots of the series, and they bring a lot of the comedy as well.
And Merrick, what was the shooting week on set of Unstable in terms of the hours that you were involved? I imagine there was an awful lot of cracks and jokes and the sort of in-between sort of takes, but were there sort of long days? And in terms of the episodes that you were filming, did you have to give, was it a week at a time that you were there?
I would say the days weren't too long. It was very efficient. A lot of things to put in, but we certainly had a lot of fun playing with the comedy, doing different takes, different angles. Fred Armisen, as you said earlier, who I got to work with, he's one of the most instinctually funny people. He's one of those people that is funny without trying at all to be funny. And I'm still trying to learn how he does that. But that was part of it. But no, wasn't long. It was, again, very happy, very pleasant, very fun atmosphere with the cast.
And in terms of the interaction with the sort of two Lows, in terms of their producing and sort of directing as well of the sort of series, had they sort of a certain vision in terms of where they wanted to take this in terms of comedy, in terms of humor, and obviously sort of themes that they wanted to look at as well?
Yeah, I imagine it was collaborated prior to our filming quite a bit, but on set you could see their bond as father and son, which is really nice to see. Rob Lowe being, of course, a veteran actor, and Owen Lowe, who somewhat new to the acting world. He's done a few things, but this was one of the things he's actually spearheading himself. I think he was one of the creators of this show. But it was great to see them both working together. And as you can see from the trailer that's out now, Owen Lowe is just remarkably funny.
And I suppose, Merrick, in terms of your character Ted, in terms of, remember, he's a board sort of member. Is he sort of the serious sort of type? Is he the sort of relaxed sort of type guy, or is he a sort of a pacifist or a pessimist, or is he, what sort of, dare I say, what does he bring to the boardroom in terms of that? Is he one of the non-believers, dare I say?
I would say yes. I'm a skeptic. I'm very serious. But certainly Ellis Dragon, Rob Lowe's character, has these chances to win us all over with his antics. But yeah, I'm a serious board member. I'm a serious business person. But I'm still sort of it's sort of a Silicon Valley, sort of very laid back atmosphere. We're not all in suits and really starch ties or anything like that. We're just laid back. We're all still very serious business people.
And Merrick, in terms of, obviously it's a new series, it's debuting now to great excitement and anticipation. And I suppose, where could you see this project developing in terms of sort of future seasons? Do you see where they can sort of develop it outside the sort of boardroom and take it maybe in terms of different locations? Do you think there's a great range of scope where they could take this project for maybe another 1 or 2 seasons?
Oh, absolutely. I think just with Rob Lowe, who's clearly having a lot of fun with this role, and his son, Owen Lowe, the character he plays, is sort of reining it in all the time. But like with Fred Armisen, they bring in these characters throughout the episodes, and you can carry this forward to multiple seasons, I think, just kind of with different scenarios, different projects that Rob Lowe would need to be innovating for the company. Lots of things you can do. It's got great potential, absolutely.
And obviously your character, you mentioned that sort of serious sort of type, and in terms of his further development, if there were sort of future sort of seasons, and obviously if you were involved in terms of that, where could you see maybe that sort of quirky sort of backstory to his sort of normal life that you could develop? Would you like to see it being out there? Would you like to see him being very much a different guy at home than what he is in the boardroom?
Yeah, that would be fun. That would be fun. There are some moments where Sian Clifford's character visits a couple of the board members at home, and she sees how odd they are at home, and that could be the same for me or any other board members there. It's very serious in the meetings and very discerning, but when you get home, it could be a circus at my house as far as and so that's something that we could have fun with if they decide. Yeah.
And Merrick, obviously the worldwide premiere is out in March the 30th as well. How excited are you in terms of all the publicity that's coming your way, and obviously being involved in this project that has gone international in terms of that has been seen all over the world? Is it an exciting sort of time for you? Is the phone hopping at the moment, dare I say?
Absolutely. It's a great time, and it's we're all very excited. This is the premiere of this series, and we are going to do a sort of a premiere party in a couple of days for all of us to get together and do a red carpet and get together and do some screenings of a couple of the episodes. So we're all very excited for the show, and we just all want to see each other again. I think we haven't seen each other in a few months here since the show stopped taping.
And Merrick, in terms of, I know it's a busy time for you and you've probably other productions in your lineup. Before we came on air, you mentioned one project in particular. You might enlighten our audience and listeners about that.
Oh, sure. I'm doing multiple. I'll be out in multiple series this year, and one of them, which I'm really proud of, is called Act Your Age. It's a series about three women who are older and single. They're over 40 and single. They're very accomplished women. They're Black women, so it's more like people have likened it to sort of a Golden Girls, but with Black women, but it's only three of them. And my character is is a love interest of one of them. And it's a sitcom, a bit more over the top than what Unstable is, but it's a sitcom that really hasn't been done before, and I think it's already a success. It's already started airing, and we're going to have more episodes throughout the year. So I look forward to continued success with that.
You mentioned a big label there, the Golden Girls. Obviously, if you're comparing that to Betty White and sort of, you have obviously high expectations in terms of what this can achieve as well. And dare I say, in terms of that sort of humor, and which in terms of that, you obviously must feel that it carries some sort of emphasis to mention such a label like the Golden Girls.
Yeah, only because it stars Tisha Campbell, Kim Whitley, and Yvette Nicole Brown. You may remember Tisha Campbell from the sitcom Martin, or various movies and TV sitcoms as well. Kim Whitley, who was on multiple movies and shows as well. She was on Next Friday in particular. And Yvette Nicole Brown was one of the stars of the show Community, and she's been on several other things herself. She's a wonderful actress. And so what they've done is these characters are all different in their own way. One is very, very businesslike and sort of mature and very business-minded. Another one is very, let's say, outgoing. Gregarious would be the word, I think, with Tisha Campbell, who is sort of on the wild side. And then there is Yvette Nicole Brown's character, who is ultra conservative. So they sort of mention her as sort of a comparison to Michelle Obama. She's a politician's wife who's now passed away, and so she's dealing with that grief sort of, but they're all still having fun being single women and being friends, being close friends, and really evolving their friendships as they're now, over 40 and single together and living together in a really nice penthouse.
You're there with me, Merrick.
There we go. Where did you lose me? I'm having a little issues with connection with you. Is that any better?
Yeah. No, it is fine. I think we just had a bit of thunder and lightning here in Ireland, but we'll sort of continue in premises. And you might like all our en masse to March the 30th Ireland to watch Unstable and what's in store for them.
Yeah. And I think we're having some stormy weather here as well, so it's not just you.
Merrick, yeah, you might enlighten all our audience. No problem, Merrick. Merrick, you might enlighten all our audience and listeners why they should tune in en masse on March the 30th in the UK and what's in store for them.
Oh, absolutely. So what you're going to find is lots of laughs with the comedic timing of Rob Lowe and Owen Lowe and Sian Clifford, of course, and the mastery of Fred Armisen as part of the group, as well as other great actresses like Rachel Marsh and Emma Fiera, and also Erin Branch, who's a stand-up comedian who does a wonderful job as Owen Lowe's best friend in the show.
Finally, Merrick McCartha, before I let you go, You mentioned there before we came on air that you had maybe an interest in coming to Ireland in the near future. Is that a pipeline dream, or is it a burning?
It is not just a pipeline dream. It's something I plan to do. Actually,
Hello, Merrick?
Yes, can you hear me? Can you hear me okay?
Yeah.
Okay. So we do certainly plan to come to Ireland at some point in the next year or two. I actually have some family heritage in Ireland, which we want to explore. So that's one of the reasons why, but I've never been, and I'd love to come out and see the country.
On that note, to close, so we tell all our audience, all our listeners, to tune in on March the 30th to see Merrick McCartha as Ted in the hit new comedy Lowe, featuring Rob Lowe, a brother and son combination, featuring Sian Clifford, Fred Armisen, Frank Gallegos, Chris Aquino, Tom Allen, and there's a special guest this evening, the one and only Merrick McCartha. For me, Jim Conlan, to you, Merrick McCartha, stay safe, take care, and God bless.
Thank you.